Hello, I hope that you can hear me okay, and I hope everybody's about ready and set to get started. Thought it about 5 minutes just to make sure that everybody who wanted to had the opportunity to. So I think we should be about good to go. There might be another couple that join us in a few minutes. So hello and welcome to the second NUS Extra webinar we're running today. We ran one earlier on this morning on Back to Basics, which Alyssa, Louise, Jordan and Alison attended, so it's lovely to see you back again. This one here is a little bit more in-depth about sales boost and marketing techniques that you could try and apply to help you in order to sell more NUS Extra cards to your students. So to the people who attended this morning, so Liz, Louise, Jordan and Alison, there will be a little bit of repetition in here, but there's a little bit more in-depth content, so please do bear with me. So to those of you who've just joined us, this webinar is designed to give you some information regarding our marketing campaigns and all ideas on how you can boost your NUS Extra card sales. The aim is to give you enough information to then go and push NUS Extra sales within your union and therefore help you to make more commission. So before we start, for those of you new to WebEx, we'll just tell you a little bit about the webinar platform. We will host a short presentation to begin with. This is the bit where we'll give you lots of juicy information to digest. We'll make sure you can get your hands on a copy of the presentation once the webinar is finished. Your notes are listed on the right-hand side of the screen. You're currently muted so that nobody can hear you talk. For you to be able to talk, I need to unmute you. So I'll just do a little quick introduction as to who everybody is that's attended. So we've got Alyssa Cosway, who's attended from Kiel Students Union, Louise Patterson calling in from Bedfordshire, Rick Patel from Gloucester, Jordan from Swansea, Richard from Wolverhampton, and Alison Baker from Royal Holloway. So welcome to you all. If you have any questions throughout the presentation, please don't be shy. Do pop a quick message in the chat box and make sure that we respond to you. We'll do the presentation to begin with, and we'll open up and we'll unmute everybody so that we can do the questions and answer session towards the end. Okay, if possible, I'll try and keep the whole session to about an hour because I know how busy everybody's days typically tend to be. So we'll do our best, but obviously we're here if you need us to stay a little bit longer. Okie dokie, so welcome to the NUS Extra HE Exchange 2016 webinar with a specific focus on boosting sales. Like I said, this is the second webinar we've run today, but also the second time we've run this specific webinar after the first in December. We continue to run them once a month until our exchange event, which is due to take place in April. So I'll tell you a little bit more about that towards the end of the presentation. I'd like to do a quick session on numbers to begin with, if I may, because the sale of NUS Extra cards brings English into your union. So for every one card that your students buy online, your union will earn £4.70 in commission. That number increases to £8.60 for a 2-year card and then £12 for a 3-year card. If they card online, but via an on-campus printer, the commission earned by your union is greater. So that's £5 for a 1-year card, £8.90 for a 2-year card, and then £12.30 for a 3-year card. So those numbers there, the £5, the £8, the £12, that's if you've got an on-campus printer. Extra revenue into your union is vital, as I'm sure you all know. It helps to support all the essential services that you provide for free to your students, for example, advice centres, societies, volunteering opportunities, and that's just a small example of the services that your commercial revenue will lead to. Okay, so looking at initially is the promotion of the card and ensuring you're using as many available channels as you have possible. So first, we're going to look at our NUS Extra core point of sale. So you might already have some of this around your union, you might not. You can download and order free NUS Extra materials from our website NUS Connect. For best visibility, please do make sure you're pushing them out via every channel that you have available, for example, via your website, social media platforms, poster spaces, and physical locations for freestanding banners. And don't forget, if you've got more than one campus, you'll need to order enough to make sure that you cover each of your campuses. The NUS core marketing materials, so you can use this all year round, and we'd like you to make sure that this is present all over campus. You have a really, really proactive welcome week. I know freshers have been and gone fairly recently, but bear with me here because this is actually quite important. Please make sure that you run an NUS extra stall at your fairs, and that's not just freshers fair, that's your society sign-up fairs, sports sign-up, jobs fairs, volunteering, well-being, housing, activities, and any other fairs that you might run. And do make sure that you include NUS extra materials, anything that you give out, whether that's a mailing or a goodie bag. We provide and their cards for welcome week for 2015, and we'll make sure that we supply some assets for welcome week 2016 as well. Searching this now, well, I imagine that for some, if not most of you, you will have a second intake of students due this month, and therefore probably be looking at holding some events, potentially a refresher fair or a housing fair or an advice fair. So please do make sure that you plan to hold an NUS extra stall and sell cards on the days when you have higher footfall. Perhaps get some student ambassadors to man the stall if you're a little bit low on resource. If there's some free printed materials to be sent out to you this week, please let us know by popping a quick message in the chat box now. We have flyers and posters available, and we can put these out next day delivery. So if you let me know today that you need some stuff, please do pop me a message in the chat box, and we'll make sure that we send some things out to you so that you can use them throughout January, February, all the way through to the end of this academic year. So please do pop a message over to us, and we'll make sure that we action that straight away. Okay, so in line with your very proactive welcome week, please do make sure that you upload the free NUS Extra core digital assets to your website, to your social media platforms, and other digital platforms. These come all year round, so if you haven't uploaded them, then please do put this on your to-do list. It's really important that you have NUS Extra on the homepage of your website, on your social media platforms, so posting that on Facebook and Twitter, and as many platforms as you possibly can. Just as we have had your message about some posters, we'll make sure that we get something out in the post. It will be next day delivery, so if it doesn't arrive with you tomorrow, it will be with you on Wednesday. But we'll probably pop you a quick message just to see what sort of quantity that you would like. Okay, so moving on, along with placing the NUS Extra free core materials in prominent locations, if you can, it would be great if you could also run the Make Your Money Back campaign during Freshers and Welcome Week to really, really boost your sales. So peak. This is the core materials for 2016-17 will likely look. You can use this all year round, like I say, so plaster your campus with it, and it's really eye-catching for the students because it's got those really excellent brands on there and some pretty bright, garish colours as well, so you can't really miss them. So this is going to be the Welcome Freshers 2016 stuff. It's a campaign designed to help students understand just how easy it is to make their money back once they've bought a card. So I used this example in the webinar this morning. So for those of you that haven't heard it, one trip to Pizza Express with your mates, you get 40% discount off your final bill, and that's not the food, that's the food and the drink, it's the total bill. So it will very, very likely cover the £12 it would cost to buy a one-year card just in that one transaction. Okay, so you might already be doing a lot of these things, but what about just sort of stretching out a little bit and having a few different ideas? Have you thought about selling super bundles? So bundle together a hoodie, a ball ticket, and an NUS Extra card, and give a small discount to make sure that those students are getting real good value for money. You can buy voucher codes from NUS, and what that means is you can actually give NUS Extra cards away for free. A lot of people are lobbying with their university so that they can buy NUS Extra cards for first years. So it's an incentive to come to your university. It's a really great thing to receive during your first year, and it can be included in your halls packs. It can be sent out in mailings. It's a really, really good opportunity. So if you are interested in buying some voucher codes, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about what other students' unions have done when they've bought voucher codes for the university, so that the university is paying for those and giving those out to first years, please get in touch and we can tell you a little bit more about what other people are doing. And it really, really does help to boost your sales and also your commission. thought about incentivising your societies and sports clubs to sell the cards? We know how competitive sports clubs can be, and actually societies can be just as competitive. Maybe pitch them against each other, offer some incentives, offer some prizes. Really, really good idea. And like I say, running competitions to drive sales, and that can be direct with your students as well. We just received your message. That's absolutely great. We'll make sure that we get in touch with you after the webinar to talk to you a little bit more about the voucher codes and give you some examples of what other student unions are doing in terms of lobbying their university to buy voucher codes. So we'll go into more detail with that after the webinar. Okay, so thinking about maintaining NUS Extra presence all year round, it's really, really important that NUS Extra doesn't just feature during Freshers Week and at peak times of year. It's really important that you're there all round. So feature NUS Extra on your website, but make sure you run our campaigns to keep the content and artwork fresh and interesting. NUS Extra runs at least one campaign per month, providing lots of engaging content and exclusive offers from top brands. So this month we're running the hashtag Jan Plan. Last month we ran hashtag Shake It Up, which is all about special different deals on top of the already brilliant offers available on the NUS Extra card for every day during Advent. So there were 24 offers available throughout the month of December. Really, really engaged with students. That worked really, really well. Liz is letting you know we've also got your message about the voucher codes as well. I'll make sure I give you a call so we can chat through that and help you to get a little bit more information about that. Okay, so a little bit more. So scheduling posts each month on your social media platforms, maybe throwing in a cheeky competition every once in a while. So we all know that students engage really, really heavily with social media, particularly Facebook and Twitter. It's really important to make sure that you take advantage of your social media platforms. If you'd like to repost and retweet anything that NUS Extra does, we'll make sure that we do the same for you. And don't forget to promote the card to your staff as well. They're all a face-to-face sales channel, and they will become advocates of the card if you sell to your staff. So it might be you just want to send out a quick all staff email that says, if you've already bought your NUS Extra card, you are entitled to one, so please make sure that you get yours. So feature NUS Extra in your e-newsletters. So we've got loads of free materials online that you can download, so make sure that you include NUS Extra in your e-newsletters. Remember, all of this drives commission to your union. It sounds like it could be quite a bit to do, actually, just bits and pieces. Make sure that you've got a presence all year round, and then a few social media posts and e-newsletters will really, really help to drive car sales. Okay. So don't forget to make sure that you push NUS Extra at key times of year. So freshers, Christmas, refreshers, elections, graduation. Really key to make sure that you remember that you're going to have higher footfall in your building and higher engagement levels at certain times of year. Make sure you take advantage of those and push NUS Extra. Run us all, push it on social media, make sure that it's included in any of your communications. Perhaps consider pushing the not-for-profit message as well. Make it real to your students and demonstrate where the profits of the NUS Extra card goes, much in the same way your union operates. So a student union, the money comes in from things like your bars, your catering operations, but those straight back into the free services that you offer, such as your job centres, your advice centres, your volunteering opportunities. It's the NUS Extra card, so the commission goes to the student union. That's quite important, but also it goes towards NUS's pioneering campaigns, which are there to represent students. And a pretty important one, push the actual brands. There's over 178 brands on the NUS Extra card currently offering discounts, although we're pushing closer to 180 at the moment, and 2/3 of those are exclusive discounts to NUS Extra. And it's really important that the brands don't get forgotten, as it's often the brands that students are most drawn to. So you want to pop out a quick message on social media. It might be that you're doing a particularly week. So for example, you might be running Green Week, you might be running Health Week. If you're in Health Week, have a look at the health and fitness offers that we have available and maybe push some of the brands onto your social media to fit in with some of the stuff that you're doing at your student union. On-campus printer is also a great way of promoting the card because your students can pay it on one way with it in one swift transaction. If you have got a printer and you've got Flex setup, that's brilliant. But if you don't have either of those, please pop us a quick message in the chat box and we can put you in touch with our production team to help you and give you a lot more information about the printers. We're doing a software update on all of our printers in the next couple of months. So if you're looking to have a new printer installed or you're looking to have set up click and collect, you might have to hang fire until the new software update is completed, but it will be well worth the wait. Okay, so I know I did this in the webinar, so Liz, Louise, Jordan, Alison, please bear with me. We're going to do a little bit more daydreaming. So imagine that your union has 10,000 student members, and imagine you sold an NUS Extra card to just 10% of them. That will bring in a whopping £4,700 in commission to your union. Up to 20%, that commission number jumps up to £9,400. If you double that and went for 40%, that brings in a humongous £18,800 in commission. And finally, pushing the boat out and going whole hog for 50%, it'd be pretty nice to bring in almost £25,000 in commission. And no, I'm not being far-fetched, I promise you. One SU decided to put a little bit of extra effort into the NUS Extra card this year and has managed a huge 88% increase in sales, and I've already earned almost £10,000 in commission since July. It's a true story. Basically, they've downloaded all the free materials and they know that they're running stalls at their events and really are making huge waves on their NUS Extra cards. Okay, so in terms of support, we have the NUS Extra Resource Bank available to you online. It's called NUS Connect and houses sales tips, materials and information on card types and sales channels. It's all free and you don't need to log on to access it. Now, seeing you on the Sales Boost webinar, I would imagine that most of you have had a look at this website. If you've not, really do get to know it. It's a really, really important platform. So if you log in today, have a look round. If you've got any questions, do drop us an email. You're entitled to free printed and digital resources to sell the NUS Extra card, so just head to the resources section to order or download your materials. We have a customer services team who are on hand to answer any of your questions, and you can contact them via telephone or email. And finally, we have the membership engagement team, and these are field-based account managers who are allocated certain unions within their region to help with NUS queries, and that includes NUS Extra. So if they're on site, do make sure you go and say hello, get to know your membership engagement manager. They're really friendly, really, really helpful, and anything that they can't help you with, they bring straight back to us here in the office, so we will make sure that we look after you. Okay, so that's the background in terms of NUS Extra and helping you to do a little bit of sales boost. In terms of keeping in touch, please do like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you like and share our posts, you will automatically be promoting the card and helping your union to earn money. I'll take a quick moment to tell you about the Exchange event in 2016. It's a set of 2 events we'll hold in April this year. Our aim is to help students' unions increase sales by encouraging them to buy into the Freshers 2016 campaign. We will help you to increase your NUS Extra card sales and therefore make more commission for your union. And in terms of what you'll actually walk away with, we're going to launch the NUS Extra core materials for the new academic year, and also the Welcome Freshers materials at this event also. So be the first to get your hands on all of these resources. We'll also have a sales boosting pitch in much more depth. It'll be workshops, it'll be on hand, and obviously you can work with other SUs to share best practice and help share ideas as well. The place on the 25th and the 26th of April. We're hoping to have one in the north of England, hopefully around Sheffield, and the other will be in the south, probably around London. So hopefully you'll all be able to travel to one of those locations and attend the event. So you attend if you can. You'll need to register to attend. I'm going to send out the registration emails ASAP. You'll need to download and order your NUS Extra core assets via NUS Connect, and you'll need to include the NUS Extra Welcome and Freshers Week campaign in all of your marketing materials in the lead up to Freshers. So, for example, if you send anything out out to your students over the summer, make sure you include details of the NUS Extra card and encourage them to buy it, particularly if they're at home with their parents, because quite often we have found students will get parents to buy the card for them before they arrive at university. And before I summarise, would you like more webinars? If you found this webinar helpful, please do let me know and we'll make sure that we run more. Tell us what you want us to cover and when you want us to run them. And would you like them to be a regular feature? If so, do drop me an email on rachel.moss@nus.org.uk and make sure that we make this webinar available on NUS Connect so you can access it after we have finished. A quick summary, a to-do list if you prefer. Make sure that you use the NUS Extra Core POS materials. They'll be ready and launched by April 2016 at the Exchange events. Please do use these materials and not the old NUS Extra branded materials. It's really, really important that you get rid of your old materials. Please do recycle them. We don't use the old ones basically because they've got old brands on. We might be bringing new brands on and taking old brands off. So please don't worry about recycling them. We'd rather you that. To make your money back campaign, that's the big freshers one. So run that alongside your core campaign. So we need you to run both and get involved with any local discounts you might be able to offer at your student union. Exchange event on either the 25th or the 26th of April. It would be great if we could see you there. Head over to NUS Connect to familiarise yourself with the resources section and take a look through our how-to guide and the sales tips. And also like us, follow us on Facebook, repost us, retweet us, and make sure that we do the same for you. And for the presentation itself, it's time to open up the floor to you for the question and answer session. This is an opportunity to ask us anything you'd like and we'll do our best to answer it. Once we finish the session, we'll send out the presentation itself, but we'll also upload that to NUS Connect. There are no silly questions, so please don't be shy. Ask us anything that you like. I'm going to press all the unmute buttons next to your name so that you can chat to us nice and easily. If you've got a microphone, everyone will be able to hear you, so we can learn from each other. And if you'd like to answer somebody else's questions, please do. And don't forget, we've got the chat box for anybody who hasn't got a microphone. So over to you. I'm just going to start unmuting everybody now. So I've unmuted Alison and Jordan, Louise, Richard and Rakesh. So you should be able to hear everybody now. We've had a couple of questions on voucher codes, but if anybody else has anything that they'd like to ask, please do. The floor is open. Go for it. I might even give a prize to the person who speaks first. Okay, let's see. Rakesh, are you there? Have you got a microphone or have you not got a microphone? Can you just let me know either by speaking up or message in the chat box? There we go. We got Alison. Okay, so Alison has asked, has anyone tried specific advertising and which brands have you had most success with? And Rakesh is just typing a quick question to us now. So if anybody could respond to Alison's question, that would be absolutely great. If you have tried to promote using any specific brands, please do share that with us. Has anybody tried that? Okay, the chat box if you haven't got a microphone. Alison says that she's tried Spotify, which she thought personally would be a winner. It's done okay, but not as good as she'd hoped based on the social media views, etc. In terms of some of the brands that we found students tend to find popular, Alison, we have found that Apple seems to do quite well, Amazon equally, and some of the brands that offer the greatest discounts. So, for example, Pizza Express is quite a good one, primarily because it's got such a high discount offer, so the 40%, so particularly good. Richard has said that they search for the brands that are local and focused, so again, he'd have the same with Spotify. Rakesh has just had an email from Nigel in regards to Click and Collect being ceased for a month. What she'll do or inform our students to do in this limbo month. So Rakesh, in regards to Click and Collect, all that means is that particular sales channel isn't going to be available. There'll be more information going out in terms of Click and Collect being switched off, but it's only temporary and the other sales channels are still available. So to purchase a card online, they can simply request a different delivery option. So one of the delivery options is Click and Collect, and the delivery option is having it sent to home address, and they obviously also have it delivered direct to the union. So while Click and Collect is switched off, it doesn't mean that they can't have the delivered to in their home addresses or at the union. So Richard's saying we push staff sales. Am I correct in saying that staff can only purchase via the on-campus channels? I know, Richard, they can buy on the online channel as well. Like I say, I'll just skip back, see if it was in this one or whether it was in my previous webinar. I think it might have been in the previous one. With staff, if they select the professional vocational under their course sort of title, that means that they can obviously go through the staff channel, so they can still buy them online. If you want to send out an email to all your staff, and a sort of an all-staff email, just letting them know that they can and they are entitled to buy a card. What we're going to find is staff are really, really discount savvy. So really, really important that that message is pushed out there and they do become advocates of the card, and you do still get the commission, like I said earlier. So, yes, really important that you push that message out there. Right, Rakesh has asked, does any union have student NUS extra brand ambassadors who put the extra card for incentives, etc.? So that would be interesting to see if anybody does have any student ambassadors they use for NUS extra stalls, for example, or perhaps while they're out and about, just be interesting to see if anybody does. So if you could pop a message in the chat box if you do, or if you thought about it, or if you plan to do that, that would be interesting. Questions. So we've covered the on-channels for staff. We've covered brand ambassadors. We're just looking into that now. We've covered voucher codes, and we've covered brands. Have we got any other questions? I'm loving all the questions that we've got here, so please do keep finding them at us. I was just a really big glug of water because I realised I haven't had one for about half an hour. That was really nice. Okay, it doesn't look like anybody's used any brand ambassadors, getting any response chat box with that. So I will have a look to see if any of our membership engagement team have come up with any student unions that they've been liaising with, to see if they've used any brand ambassadors that they could possibly offer a little bit of information on. So we'll get back to you on that as well. Rick has asked about voucher codes. What I'll do, Richard, is I'll get in touch with you following the webinar and we'll have a chat about that. You can buy voucher codes from our customer services team, but if you're looking at buying a larger quantity, we tend to do that on a one-to basis. It depends on whether you're looking at buying them as a union or whether you're looking at lobbying your university to buy large quantities so that they can give them out for free for potential first years, for example. But I will make sure that we get in touch with you after the webinar to have a conversation with you about that. Alison, I think, is responding to the brand ambassador question, where she's saying that they haven't, will consider and will be interested to hear from other students' unions too. So yeah, Alison, we'll make sure that we get back in touch with you as well with regards to the brand ambassadors. If I get any information from the membership engagement team, I will certainly send some information out about that to see who's used them and how they've gone about that, and whether they've seen a benefit from doing that. Okay, so have we any other questions whilst we're on the topic of brand ambassadors, voucher codes, anything at all? If you've got any questions about the marketing channels, about NUS Connect, about downloading or ordering assets, if you've got questions at all, please fire them over on the chat box and we'll talk you through that. So Richard, seen quite a decline in sales thus far this year. Is it a national trend or just you? Okay, so some unions are seeing quite dramatic increases and some are seeing a decline. So we are looking into those unions to see whether it is particular proactivity in terms of their increases in sales, or they've dropped doing particular things and they're seeing a decline. So we are seeing a little bit of both, actually, Richard, so it's interesting to see that you've got a steady decline. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can find a membership engagement team member for Wolverhampton and see if we can get a little bit of information out to you and see if they can come and see you. Louise has mentioned brand ambassadors being a good idea if there's anything available for them to wear whilst promoting t-shirts, hats and bags. So we have got some t-shirts that we use at NUS when we're attending events. I don't know if there's something that are readily available for students' unions, but what I will do, Louise, is I will have a chat with a colleague to see if we have any in stock that potentially they could be sent out. So I will look into that for you and get back to you if that's okay. Richard, was my response okay regarding a membership engagement member getting in touch with you? And Louise, are you quite happy with the response regarding brand ambassador t-shirts? Yeah, okay, got great. Yeah, that's brilliant. Got responses from both of you. That's lovely. Any more questions from anybody? Fire them at me. I'm enjoying this. Another minute or so, because it looks like people might be my questions. I'll just wait just a little bit longer. I don't want to do anything. Looks like everybody might have asked all the questions that they wanted to ask. So what we'll do now is we'll send out an email with the presentation attached, and anybody where we've said that we will look into something for you, so for example t-shirts, getting in touch with membership engagement teams and that sort of stuff, and we'll make sure that we get back in touch with you. Anybody who requested any assets to be sent out, we'll make sure that that happens straight away, and we'll make sure that we speak to you initially regarding voucher codes, because it does depend on what it is that you are looking to do. It is a really, really good opportunity for you. So it's that students' unions do seem to be considering a really, really good channel, particularly from a commission point of view, because if you can lobby your university to buy large quantities for your first years, it really, really does help you guys from a commission point of view. So thank you very much for attending. We'll send an email out to you straight away, and I really, really hope to see you at the exchange event in April, so the 25th and the 26th. Keep out for the registration invitation. And yeah, I hope to speak to you all soon. Alison, thank you for your kind message. That's very kind of you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I hope you're not too cold. I hope it's not too snowy where you are. And I will very hopefully speak to you all very soon. Thanks ever so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.